What's up everyone, this is Kenny here from Property Stories, and today we're going to talk about DSR and NDI. Yes, I know this topic is very popular, a lot of people have been asking me. So what is DSR, what is NDI? Today I'm going to show you the examples. I'm also going to answer a few frequently asked questions with regards to this topic. So I hope that this video is useful to you. Let's get on to it, alright? So we come to the table of content for today. So first we're going to go through what is DSR, next is what is NDI, estimated calculations. This part, right, is the part where I share with you some of the common questions I get on how bank calculate, for example, credit cards. Alright, example DSR calculation, NDI calculation, and then I'll show you an example where the DSR passed but NDI actually failed, so it's NDI check here. And FAQs. These FAQs I'm also going to share with you some of the common questions I get with regards to this question of DSR and NDI. So let's begin, shall we? First, what is DSR? DSR is introduced by Bank Negara Malaysia to control over leveraging, because a lot of people take loans, right? When last time when you take loans, they just see your payslip, then they will just give you the loan. They do not actually count your commitments with regards to secrets. So Bank Negara noticed that too many people are taking too much loans. That's why they actually control this by introducing this concept called the DSR, or debt service ratio. Yes, DSR stands for debt service ratio. It just aims to answer one question only. The question is, can you afford this property? Can you afford this property? That's what it's trying to do, okay? Last time is based on gross income, but right now all DSR is based on net income. This is the formula as prescribed by Bank Negara Malaysia Central Bank. All outstanding debt repayment obligations from banks and non-banks. Yes, they are non-banks creditors, like for example like AIA or Aeon Credit or maybe Toyota Financing. They will put inside in secrets. So if you put inside in secrets, this is what we have to count. And the new financing installment, that means over the income after statutory deduction. This is net income, okay? And the new financing installment, can you see here? This and the new financing installment. So that means the total DSR is whatever existing commitment you have seen in secrets plus the existing new commitment that you want to add over your net income. That is your DSR, okay? So what is the net income? Net income, as I shown just now, gross income minus the statutory deduction. EPF, income tax, also EIS, zakat, whatever it is, you just see at the net income. Easy to say, net income is the money that goes into your bank account, okay? The money that goes into your bank account, that is your net income that will be used to calculate your DSR. So what is NDI? So NDI stands for net disposable income, or DI. Some banks call it DI, disposable income, okay? This is classified as urban and non-urban, because you have urban, we have a different cost of living, non-urban, different cost of living. How they classify urban and non-urban, it differs from each bank, okay? It's net income after deducting all the installments, including the new loans. So why do they do this? They realize that if you use DSR alone, it's not accurate. Some people actually, the DSR the banks give so high, but we don't know what is the living expenses like. So if you don't factor in living expenses compared to the person who paying the bank loan, and also you need to eat, what do you think the person will do? The person will choose to eat first, right? And feed the family first instead of paying the bank loans. So that is where the default happens. Bank Negara introduced this NDI concept. It's just to answer the question, is that after paying your loans, your commitments in secrets, do you still have enough to live on? So this is the formula. Net income minus all outstanding debts, repayment or payment obligation from banks and non-banks, and the new financing installment. I'll show you how to calculate later, alright? So this is the common question I get. Estimated calculation. How much bank cake? Usually for credit card is 5% of your outstanding balance. Let's just say your outstanding balance is 1,000. So 5% of 1,000 is 50 ringgit. Is considered as your commitment, which at all minimum 50. If your outstanding balance is 0, then it will consider as 50 ringgit per card. Doesn't matter if the card share the same limit, but it's per card. So if you have 2 cards sharing the same limit, it's 50, 50, 100 ringgit considered as your commitment. The next one is property loan. This one, if under construction, you take the full installment. Okay. the banks will ask you for your full installment. If you do not give your offer letter, it's okay, they will estimate themselves, and you don't want that. Once the bank usually, if estimate themselves, they will give you a very high interest, so your commitment will actually go higher. So make sure you have your offer letter or your documents all ready when you submit to the bank. Property loan, if it's joint name, of course the installment is half. Let's just say you see the full installment is 3,000 in the secrets. Then you see the word joint. So the 3,000 will divide by half, automatically 1,500. Next we will go to calculation example. Okay. Again, the formula is here. The formula for net income and the formula for DSR is here. So DSR example, let's just say gross income is 5,000, less EPF is assume 500. I know it's 11%, but let's just assume it's 10% here. Okay, so net income is 4,005. Assuming this person not much commitment, 100 PTPTN, credit card 1,000, outstanding balance. So you take 5% of the outstanding. This is how you count the total commitment. 100 ringgit plus this 1,000 times 5%. So 1,000 times 5% is how much? 50 ringgit. 1,000 times 5% plus 100 and ringgit will be 150 ringgit. Alright. So the new loan, assuming the new loan is at 300,000, which is 4% per annum for 35 years. This is the installment you get. You just punch in your loan calculator. Okay. So DSR 150 plus 1329 over the net income just now times 100. So the DSR is 32.87. It's less than 70. So it's passed. So what is this 70 here? This 70 here is the DSR percent threshold allocated by the bank. Okay, every bank has a different threshold, but in general, if you are 5,000 gross income and you're a single applicant or double applicant, usually the DSR is about 70. So keep it less than 70 is the best. So every bank has a different threshold, like I mentioned just now, DSR. In short, if you have higher income, the bank will give you a higher DSR. So for gross income 5,000 and onwards, the safe percentage is about 70. Some banks they go up to 80. So if you hit 10,000 gross, that is a different bracket altogether. Some banks give 80, some banks give 90. So if you aim to hit that elusive 10,000 gross income a month, so it's up to 3,000. Those to up to 3,000 is categorized as vulnerable category by Bank Negara Malaysia. I think for credit card, I think it's 5,000 already now. But this 3,000 is, I think, still applicable for property. Yes, different products has different vulnerable category and way of looking at it. So it's usually there's no extra perks for this group of category of people or category of applicant, 3,000. Whether it's joint name or single name, up to 3,000, the DSR usually is about 55 to 60. This part, why they are considered as vulnerable category, right? If you remember the last year, the interest rate is increased 4 times in 1 year. Okay, so from the research, they show that the lower income group is the one that is the most affected, because once the interest rate increase, right, they are actually stuck between their living costs, or their increase in living costs, and also the interest in their house, the installment of their house. So they are most likely to actually default. That is why when you have the lower income, you have lower disposable income, you are more likely to default. That's the reason they are put under the vulnerable category and treated with much care from the banks or any financiers at all. In short, I have explained just now, but this is the point here. The more you have, the more you earn, the more you can borrow. The more you earn, the more the banks want to borrow to you. So when it's the start of your journey or investing journey, please focus on earning your money. Focus on earning money and then invest, because the more you earn, the more you can borrow. So this is the formula for NDI. Now I've shared. It's net income minus everything. So now we're going to calculate NDI. The same case just now, using the previous example, the same case. Gross income is 5,000 less EPF and net income is 4,005. Okay. The current commitment 100. Credit card is 150 ringgit. Take 5%. Total commitment is here. So it's 150, correct? Then you see how to calculate. New loan details, same. Everything is the same. We're at the same case. So what's the NDI of this applicant? Net disposable income of this applicant. You take the net income here, just now 4,005, right? You minus the 150, the previous commitment, and minus the new loan. So what's the balance? You get this 3,021 here. This is actually the NDI. And then NDI, right, like I mentioned just now, there's urban and non-urban. So let's look at an example here. If Bank A were to give you an example of NDI criteria here, let's just say urban is 1,200, non-urban 1,000. Married with dependents. Dependents here usually children children under 18 still in school. So married with dependents, urban 1,500, non-urban 1,002. This bank, right, Bank A classify urban as having home address, watch it, home address in Kuala Lumpur, Selangor, Penang and Johor Bahru. So if it's out of that classification, if it's out of these 4 places, then you're considered non-urban, okay? Single applicant is 1,000. So this applicant here, let's see where this applicant hypothetically residing. So applicant here is married with 1 child and stays in Kuala Lumpur. Remember home address? Applicable NDI is 1,500 for Bank A. See here, 1,500. Married with dependents, urban area. So 1,500. So just now the NDI we calculated is 3,021, correct? 3,021 is much more than 1,500. So this person pass. DSR and NDI pass, can submit to HQ for approval. This is what it means by NDI. Let's look at a case where the DSR passed but NDI actually failed. Happens a lot to, as I mentioned just now, a low income segment of applicant where the DSR is borderline. So assume that this one is buy the same property, gross income is 3,000 but less EPF. Again, I'm assuming EPF is 10% deduction and I ignore everything else, ignore EIS and taxes to make it easy, okay? Net income here is 2,007. The commitment now is 100 ringgit for PTTN only. Don't even have credit card. So now the new loan details is the same. Mr. Buy the same property, so the installment is the same. So you see DSR check. DSR is, you see DSR 100 ringgit plus 1,329 times 100% over 2,700, which is the net income. It's only 53%. DSR is less than 60. The allocated one is 60. Assuming the allocated one is 60 because the gross income is only 3,000. This person actually passed. This applicant can pass, can go to HQ, but not before checking the NDI. Let's check the NDI. Again, applicant is married with 1 child and stays in Kuala Lumpur. And remember, the NDI for Bank A is 1,500. This one, you calculate again, the NDI is 2,700 minus the 100 ringgit of PTTN commitment, minus the new commitment. This is the housing loan, right? So you minus, you get 1,271. 1,271 is less than the NDI requirement of 1,500 that is set by Bank A, right? So this one rejected. You cannot go to HQ for approval, okay? This is where I say, if you are a gross income of 3,000, you are considered a vulnerable segment. It's best that you go and find a property that suits you, lower price, or you don't buy first and actually focus on earning more money and then only buy at a later date. If both DSR and NDI fail, no need to talk straight away rejected. It's easy, self-explanatory. Quick pause. If you would like to support this channel, do click the subscribe button. It's free, absolutely free. You can always change your mind after that. And if you are looking for a loan, you can click the link down below. If you know you or your friends or what looking for a loan, do send them the link down below and they'll get in touch with the team. We'll see how we can help. Alright, on to the video. We've come to the Q&A section of the video. So this is the first question. It's something that I always get. Kenny, all this is good, but I got no time to actually sit down and actually calculate. Besides, do you have any place that I can actually check my DSR, my loan eligibility, how much I can borrow for free? Yes, actually I do, and I highly encourage you all to actually use technology. These are the 3 websites. Number 1, Property Guru. Number 2, iProperty. And number 3, HProp. I'll leave the link of the loan services down on the description below. So check out the description below if you want to check your loan eligibility. Okay. Next one is that when does this DSR and NDI not applicable to which applicant? High net worth individuals. These are the when DSR and NDI show out one, because the DSR will be burst above than what is allocated for. Okay. To these individuals, this DSR and NDI is not applicable. The banks will be more lenient to borrow, especially when it comes to high net worth individual. Of course, some banks they will cap To them, high net worth, that's what they're comfortable is. DSR maybe up to 300%. Some has no limit, but don't expect maximum margin. So you have to check with your banks, respective banks, how they count the high net worth, what they take into account. But we shall explore this in another video in the future, alright? The next question is I pay my credit card in full every month. I have no outstanding balance. Do you still take into account my credit card for DSR calculation? The answer is yes. I've shown you previously in the above. Is that if outstanding balance 0, we will use it as 50 ringgit. Okay, per card. Per card. So when we put the secrets, send the loan application, any outstanding, we will times by 5%. Okay, 5% to take into account as your DSR. Next question is that I'm currently paying only progressive interest. My house haven't got key. Only paying 200 a month. So do you consider this as 200 a month or my full installment, which is 2,500 for example? We take the full installment. Okay, we take the full installment to calculate your DSR, not the progressive one. Progressive one is not counted. We count the full installment. So for in this case, right, you have to provide the bank with your offer letter. Offer letter, your previous loan that you have, offer letter. Okay, we will take the full installment there. If you do not have your offer letter, what happens? Still can, but each bank has its own estimate of your housing loan, and I can tell you the interest is very high. We estimate it very high because we want to be conservative. Okay. Next one, I got joint applicant. DSR threshold can increase? Yes, of course can. If you have the joint applicant, of course it increase. Don't lie, your joint applicant, let's just say DSR threshold from 5,000 gross income, single or combined, right, become 70. Let's just say you are earning 2,000 gross, you add another person 2,000 gross, which is 4,000. You haven't hit the 5,000. So you must get someone to combine, then you increase your DSR threshold. That will be better for the loan application, right? In most cases, no point having someone that is 2,000 and then 2,000 you have not passed the threshold, or 2,000 and then not working. No point. Okay. Next one is I got joint applicant. So my NDI how count twice. Yes, some banks actually do count twice. The net disposable income is count per applicant. I give you for example. Let's just say you have 2 applicants, combined is 5,000, and then the net disposable income each one must be 1,500 like our previous example. So what this means is that your net income 5,000 after minus all the commitments must have more than 3,000. Okay, 3,000. So if you have more than 3,000, then the loan will pass. Okay. Next question I get, Kenny, I got a banker friend. Can I get the banker friend to count my DSR? Of course you can. Your friend is up to your friend to oblige. But if you were to ask me personally, I don't do that. Okay, I used to do that, but I don't do that anymore because now you got so many free tools, right? I shared with you the free tools earlier and also in the description below. And next one, you ask me to count. If it's a straightforward case, no problem. If it's complicated, I need to add rental here and there. Don't you think it's a waste of my time? Okay, why is it a waste of my time? Once you count it doesn't mean the sales you will sign with me. You still will have to compare, right? Which bank give you the lower rate, which bank give you the better package. Who knows, my side, the bank that I'm working for, they cannot approve your loan. Then how? It will be waste of time for both of us. Okay, so in general, I don't do any more DSR calculation. I all send to the website. Okay, and why I'm telling you this is not trying to be selfish or what. I'm just giving you the reality of what your banker friends out there is facing. We are doing sales, so sometimes, right, in Asian culture, we are people pleasers, right? We don't want to say no, especially to our friends. But sometimes the favor can get too much. Okay, favor can get too much. So we have to put our foot down. So here I am representing those bankers or any salesperson out there, right? Especially bankers in this case, to tell you what they want to tell you, but they can't. Okay? We are salespeople, we are going for sales. Okay? Friends is friends, sales is sales, time is time. So all that we ask is that you try to think a little bit on our shoe and respect our time. We of course want to get you the best deal because we are your friends, okay? So if you want to ask, go ahead and ask, but don't expect your friend owe you an answer, okay? Your friend does not owe you a living. Nobody owes you anything. You have to work for it. Okay, that's all from me for today. And if you find this video useful, please share this with your friends and family. Agents, if you are watching this, I highly encourage you to sit down and actually understand, because this is how you can actually filter your clients before you even collect the booking. Don't collect a booking, 20 bookings, but conversion is 0. No point, man. We are going for conversions, agents. And if any brokers out there looking for all this, you are new in the industry, please, this is a basic. So please sit down and calculate and try to understand this. If you want to be in the industry of being a mortgage broker, you have to know this. Okay, that's it for me. This is Kenny here from Property Stories. I'll see you again in the next video. Bye bye.